This next fight is the most intriguing one on the entire main card right here. Waldo Cortes-Acosta versus Robelis Despaigne. Again, no disrespect, but let me solo out and look into the camera right here. I'm not sold on Despaigne. Not yet. This dude is an Olympic Taekwondo medalist, super long and lanky, 6'7", with an 84-inch reach, and I love all of that. And I think that there is real merit having that frame in this sport. But I also think when you are 5-0 in the UFC, or what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5-0 in MMA, excuse me, your entire MMA career. All 5 victories are first round knockouts. I am not sold. Let me see you get out the first round, then we could talk. And I think Waldo Cortes-Acosta is the perfect fighter to be able to combat him, because you got the salsa boy, bro. You got the dude who is out there ready to, come on, dip and dive and duck. More importantly, he's ready to extend the fight. That's literally the number one thing that I care about right here. He's been tested, he's had his chin touched, and he has not been knocked out thus far. One loss was to Marcos Rogerio de Lima, who is a very impressive heavyweight that we have right here. Yeah, he got his face smashed in by Derek Lewis, but let's not think about that. What we need to think about is how AJ are the odds makers saying minus 345 open for Despaigne, and then we've come back down to live minus 240 for Despaigne, plus 195 for Acosta. So money's coming in on Acosta. But how do the odds makers even formulate this? They just see you're a spectacle, you're going viral on social media, so you must just be able to knock this dude out, no problem. What do you think?
That's the only thing they're thinking. They must be sitting there on TikTok just watching Despaigne's reels, because, man, don't get me wrong, I'm putting money on Despaigne. I do think he's going to win this fight, but I'm not. It's one of those situations where all the numbers, they look good as you open it up, but once you actually dive into it, there's some work that needs to be done and some issues that need to be solved. And if this is the fight, you're right, Derek. I think this is a prove-it fight, one, for Despaigne to actually show that he is a real-deal fighter in this one, can get it done past that round one with an experienced fighter like Waldo Cortes-Acosta, but also on the same end for Acosta, because when you're falling into this heavyweight division that's a little bit light, a little bit lacking, you have a guy that's going to come in here and arguably just skyrocket to the top, or you can take his thunder and make that path back to yourself. Kind of like how, I'm not going to compare him to Derek Lewis, but kind of how that same path goes. You fight the people, when you take their heat, you jump up a little bit. It can happen for Costa.
It totally could, and that's what's weird, right? Because he's more proven in the big show. But if you beat this monster behemoth of a giant right here, this Taekwondo master, right, you get points. You immediately get points. But this is the other question that I have right here, man. For Despaigne, average fight time is 18 seconds, which is just ridiculous, right? I don't even know what to make of that. But the TKO prop is minus 175 right here. Given that we haven't seen him knock out anybody outside of the first round, are you convinced that the power translates through 3 rounds?
No. I was going to go like 2 rounds, Derek. Then I might be a little bit more open to talking, but 3 rounds, it's just not there. No, there's no proof in the pudding, man. We need to see it.
And this is a tough one for me, because I look at Waldo Cortes-Acosta and what does he have on paper? Not on paper, in real life when you watch tape. He has a nasty, crisp jab. It's a long jab too. It's not 84 inches, AJ. It's not that, but it's long, so he's going to have to close distance. He has some solid head movement, and when he's on his A game and not being a madman, just swinging like a crazy guy, right? When he's being technical, he's sharp. They call him the salsa boy for a reason. So I just think that there's so many unknowns right here. You just have to bet on what you've seen on tape, and that's what the hardest part about it. If you had to describe to the people who are watching this right now why you want to roll with Despaigne, given that he is as unproven as he is, please do, because we need to get that point too. It's easy to bash him and say, oh, unproven, but like clearly you like him enough to bet on him. What is it about the phenomenon of Despaigne?
I like him. Why I like Despaigne in this fight, Derek, he has different ways of moving and a lot more speed than a lot of people have seen in the heavyweight division. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do think Waldo Cortes-Acosta is going to be able to hit those salsa boy moves, right? Have that good footstep. But if Cortes-Acosta starts to chase Despaigne, man, Despaigne has good power both backwards and forwards. And with the length and the size he has, he can hit you at distances that you're not used to, neutralize those kicks that we might see out of Waldo, and just really be able to overpower. And that's what I think is going to happen. And he needs to get it done in the first round. Don't get me wrong. All those things we said before are valid. I think this could happen in the first round, and hopefully it does. If you're Despaigne better right here, it's still, there's a lot of murky in that water. I think Despaigne can get it done by KO though.
Yeah, that's what we saw against Josh Parisian in the last fight, right? Josh Parisian rushed him, said, let me just drop my hands, and he got clipped. You get hit from places you don't expect. So again, there's true merit in having frame right there for Despaigne. I don't like the minus 175 TKO from a value perspective. There's nothing that you could pull from there. Don't like the money line play on Despaigne. So even if I was playing devil's advocate, I don't see him being a bettable fighter per se in the terms of bringing value. Now, for the competition of what we were doing, yeah, totally see it. But I think pure value is on the Waldo Cortes-Acosta side, no matter who you're betting, plus 275. Leave it at that. We don't need to touch anything else. We're just taking that. And if you look at it now, of course, we're up to plus 195 for the live odd. So smash that. In my opinion, if you're tailing me for Waldo Cortes-Acosta, drag out the fight, be more experienced, and take him to places he's never been. This is so much of a stay away from me, though, man. I would not bet TKO. I would not bet decision. I would not bet any of that. I would stick it with the money line because I don't know what Despaigne looks like out of the first round. So with that being said, a contentious pick right here, but this should be a fun one. This should totally be like a proven grounds fight for sure, as you had just mentioned.